there is a stunning new report out of Politico that officials in Palm Beach, Florida, are actively contingency planning for a possible indictment of former President Donald Trump by Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance Jr., which could happen while Donald Trump is at his Florida club, Mar-a-Lago. That this is even something being gamed out by Palm Beach officials is stunning. The sources here are two high-ranking county officials from Palm Beach involved in these planning sessions. The real legal question is that of extradition from Florida to New York in the event of a New York indictment of Trump. Now, what's ironic or tragic, or I don't know what to call it, is that because of an obscure Florida statute about interstate extradition, it would basically come down to the Florida governor, who currently is the pro-Trump Republican governor, Ron DeSantis, who could ultimately decide to intervene and do an investigation of his own to determine whether the indicted person should be extradited to another state. Joe Abruzzo, clerk of the Circuit Court of Palm Beach County, says, quote, "The statute leaves room for interpretation that the governor has the power to order a review and potentially not comply with the extradition notice." Now, on the other hand, Trump is currently moving from Mar-a-Lago in Florida to his Bedminster, New Jersey estate for the summer. If a New York City indictment came down with Trump in Jersey, it's a different ballgame. There's also a statute there allowing the governor to intervene, but the governor in New Jersey is Democrat Phil Murphy, not a Trump sycophant brown noser, would likely just not get involved at all. And if Trump were in New Jersey at the time of the indictment, Trump likely would be extradited to New York. So there's multiple layers here to consider. First of all, imagine a former president getting indicted, period, would be one of the biggest news stories in American political history, period. Second, imagine if former President Trump is indicted and he's in Florida and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis refuses to extradite Trump. Consider what that would mean in terms of the legal insanity of a governor protecting a former president from extradition on an indictment, and that Trump would essentially become a fugitive in his own country, at least to his native New York, and likely wouldn't be able to travel to New York on the risk of arrest. Now, I think that while DeSantis would plausibly intervene, there are plenty of Republican officials who love the idea of Trump and an indictment as a way to finally get Trump out of the way and try to commandeer Trump's very constituents for themselves. These would be the Republicans who publicly still stand by Trump, but probably privately think he's an idiot and bad for the Republican Party. Could Ron DeSantis even try to intervene, but in exchange for something? Imagine DeSantis going to Trump and saying, "I'll intervene to stop the extradition, but then you owe me. And what I want is for you not to run in 2024 and to endorse me for president in 2024. I don't know. But Trump being stuck in Florida without being able to leave is already pretty rich. Having to endorse the guy that saves him would be a just delightful possibility. Now, do I think any of this will happen? Very unlikely. I know we've all thought about that perp walk, that potential moment where Donald Trump is handcuffed and walked in front of the cameras, but that is so far from a real possibility. Even if Trump were indicted, he wouldn't be perp walked. It would all be very quiet. And quite frankly, I think it's all very far-fetched. But the fact that it's potentially real enough that officials around the country are thinking about, if Trump is indicted, how do we handle it? That's already historic. And it is absolutely stunning that it's the discussion. Monday, Memorial Day, we are doing a one-day membership special. Okay, this is what we call a single-day membership bomb. If you want to get in on a membership, including all of the great benefits, as well as the world's famous award-winning bonus show, Monday, Memorial Day is a beautiful day to do it. Just get on my newsletter. Go to davidpakman.com, upper right of the website. You type in your email address, you get on my newsletter. Monday, Memorial Day, you'll get an email telling you exactly how to take advantage of this special. Quick break, back after this. Most healthy granola bars have sort of a bad reputation because they're either dry or boring or don't taste that good or they don't satisfy your cravings. But our sponsor, Monk Pack, is completely different because Monk Pack keto granola bars are sweet and delicious with a soft and chewy texture. And yet they have only 140 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and only 2 to 3 net carbs. Perfect for the low sugar or keto diet. They come in fantastic flavors like coconut cocoa chip, blueberry almond vanilla, and the new flavor peanut butter. I've been a fan for a long time. I always have them in my pantry. It is a perfect snack. And if you don't love them as much as I do, you get all your money back. They also now have a subscription feature, which I love. It'll save you 10% on every order, and it ships automatically. You'll get 20% off when you go to monkpack.com and use the coupon code Pakman. The link is right underneath this video.